What's happened is you've got two left-wing leaders, Malcolm and Bill Shorten, trying to advocate a position when Australians are inherently conservative on referenda anyway, let alone on this issue. You've got the Indigenous community who now are running hell-bent into treaties and compensation for stolen generations. All these issues get merged in the eye of the ordinary voter who would look at this referendum. And Australians, to be honest, if the treaty conversation continues and this idea of a third chamber of the Australian Parliament, a blackfella chamber basically to look at any bill that might have ramifications for Indigenous people, which will be absolutely everything, if there is a third chamber of the Australian Parliament and treaties are continued in this discussion, it is dead, buried, cremated, it is gone. I can't see it come back.
Because if nothing else, it's just frankly too complicated, apart from things people don't like.
What will happen is the left, Labor, if Labor win the next election, they'll drop the idea of constitutional change because a referendum is difficult to get up, and they'll go and look at whether they can do treaties with various community groups, getting around the need to take it to a vote. And I think that's where they'll probably go.
Where do you think?
Well, Labor has already committed to doing a treaty, so it'll be interesting to see what the policy is around that.
Yeah.
Well, if that becomes an election issue, Adam, I reckon that's one of the things that would turn great parts of the population against Labor.
The interesting thing on that, Peter, is I don't know what's being said in Canberra about this, but you get out into the regions where the opposition leader or some of those other senior opposition Labor members are talking to the community, and they are openly telling people they're committed to a treaty. So it'll be interesting to see when those conversations make Canberra and that becomes a political debate, because that will be a hotbed of political debate in Australia.
Take that down to Western Sydney and try and run your treaty.
Well, all we know is that Channel 2's going, all Reconciliation Week next week, so that'll solve everything.